I was like, you wear your jeans.
We're matching.
I changed at the last minute too. I was in a dress, and I was like, that does not fit this song. I love those jeans, though. Those are cute. The lining of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to see you.
It's
I think
nice
the
to
last
see you
time I saw
too.
you was at a children's function. We had kids go to school, the same school in LA. How are they doing?
They're doing great.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you know this, you may know this. Our daughters were in the same class,
Yes.
and our sons were in the same class.
But our sons actually have a little similarities, I think, because when I came to the school, he kind of thinks like an engineer, a little bit like an architect. My son does
For
too.
an engineer, he builds Legos all day long.
Remy builds nonstop. That's all we do at our house. We have a literally, I took over our dining room because we're not those people. We don't use the dining room. We use the kitchen. There's a table in there. It's right by the stove. Why am I running around? But anyway, so we use it, and it's our Lego room, literally.
Nice.
We're obsessed. Anyway, I hear that your daughter is like my daughter as well, loves to perform.
She does. She
Yeah.
does. She loves to perform.
Yeah, like singing, dancing.
Yeah, she sings and she dances.
Yeah.
And she's just started writing poetry.
Yeah.
And she really laid a doozy on me last night because she's not here with me. And her older sister is here with me. And so there's, you know, there's, because you alternate,
Are you getting some
right?
guilt?
You
Yeah,
take
you have to,
one
yeah.
on this trip and the other one on the next trip, and you have to do that. But
Yeah.
she's very in her feelings about it, which I understand.
Yeah.
But she wrote me a banger last night of a poem. Like, it's amazing, this poem.
Mom
and I was
left
like,
me behind.
she's got skills. No, she's far more manipulative than that. You know, you're the sun to my star and all of this. Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. No, so wait, so you're from the East Coast, speaking
Yes.
of growing up
Yes.
originally. Boston?
Yes.
Is that where, yeah,
Yes,
I
Boston.
love Boston. It's
Do
one of
you?
my
Yeah.
favorite
It's a
places to
beautiful
tour.
city.
Well, I love the people. The energy of the people it's very, I know it's different from Texans, but y'all are very full on like Texans. So that's what I like.
Yeah. Full
Yeah.
on is a good way to, the sports fans too.
Yeah, I know.
Full-on sports
so
fans,
I
yeah.
was singing at the World Series years and years ago.
Okay.
And it was the World Series that time when y'all ended up beating, like it'd been like 80-something years, and you
Okay.
Yes.
That
And so
must have been intense.
Seeing those fans, I felt at home. Such a fun place to go see a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen baseball.
No?
It's baseball, Fenway Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Celtics
Isn't that
fans.
where the Green
I've been-
Monster is?
It is, yes.
I played catch in there.
Yo, ooh, that's fancy.
Just dropping a cool thing that
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
Trying to be cool with the Boston chick.
Yeah.
Wait, I heard that you did something fun, which I feel like we would have been friends. You sold slushies at the game, but you had special slushies.
Yes, so I am familiar with Fenway Park. I just worked outside Fenway Park, not inside Fenway Park, and I used to sell slushies. Yes, special slushies.
But how are these special? Why don't you tell them?
Well, I had a ketchup bottle, and I used to take the ketchup out of the bottle and rinse, you know, the big pump bottles?
Yeah.
And you rinse that out, and you put it in the cooler. You have this 2 different kinds of slush, and you have a pump bottle full of vodka. And then you can give people a special slush.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
And it was extra. You know, it cost a lot more. The special slush
Like a
cost
hustler
lot
at a
more.
young age. I like
a hustler at a young age.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love it. All right, let's take a short break. We have an audience member who can help us out.
Hi, Kelly and Ellen. I'm Madeline. Ellen, I have been a fan of Grey's since day one, really. I have never missed a season, but I want to compliment you for something bigger. You have been a huge advocate for women's health and equal pay, and I think it's very inspiring. And I want to thank you for using your voice. More with Kelly and Ellen when we come back.
We are back with Ellen Pompeo. Give it up, y'all. We were just talking about some of Ellen's early hustles and jobs, but like Madeline said, she was also a pioneer in the fight for equal pay for women in TV. Do you feel like you still have to fight that hard for equal pay now? Or what you deserve?
Well, not now.
Okay.
Not for me. But you always try to help other people, and, you know, when you have a platform or you have any type of privilege, I like to try to use it to lift other people up.
Yeah.
You know, once you're up here, you gotta...
Yeah, give a hand. Absolutely.
I think it's important to use your voice if you sit in a position of privilege, to use your voice for anyone. Anyone who has less privilege or less of a voice than you. I think no matter the circumstances, man, woman, gay, straight, whatever, however you identify, whoever you are.
Because you've been blessed with that platform.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, I'm going to pivot a little bit. Your new show is Good American Family. This is like a true thing that happened.
We are doing a fictionalized version of a story that was told on a documentary.
Yeah.
we're telling it quite differently.
Yeah.
And we are telling it from a lot of different perspectives. You know, I hope everybody likes it. It was a cool project to work on. For my first thing in 20 years, I haven't done anything new.
So explain a little for people that haven't seen, if they don't know the story. Because it's crazy.
So yeah, it is crazy. So Good American Family is a story based on a couple who was going through a lot of challenges. They had a neurodivergent son, and they had some marital trouble, and they were looking to sort of bring their fractured family together, and they thought adopting a little girl might be that thing. So they had some trouble adopting. They finally were offered a chance to adopt this little girl from the Ukraine. And I think the character that I play as Christine Barnett is a mother who was doing a million things all at once, as we do. And she took on one more thing, and it was probably one more thing too much. You know, we think we can handle a lot until we sometimes meet our match.
Yeah.
And the adoption of this child didn't go exactly how they had planned. And they had different expectations of how it would turn out. And that's another interesting thing about human beings is how do we respond when things don't go the way we expected? And we always have expectations.
That's who you really are.
Right?
Yeah.
We always have this is going to be great. And then what happens when it isn't? How do you respond? How do you react?
So there was also a book that helped you prepare, right, for this?
Yes, yeah. There's this book that I found called Far from the Tree. And every chapter of the book is devoted to a set of parents who had a child that was outside of what they expected. One chapter is devoted to the parents of Dylan Klebold, who was the Columbine shooter. Another chapter is devoted to Jeffrey Dahmer's parents. A chapter is a child born blind, a child born deaf, a child born with dwarfism. And, having children, whether we've given birth or not, all women are maternal in nature, and we want to take care of things. And it's sort of our nature. And then what happens when you can't? You got something you didn't expect. And I first came across the book when I was having my children. I had 2 children via surrogate. And I wanted to sort of make sure I did all of the things to understand and ask the questions. And, if I was having trouble biologically and was going to pursue surrogacy, asking myself all the right questions and making sure I was making informed decisions.
Yeah.
So I came across this book on that journey, and I never forgot it. It never.
Funny how that came back
around. Can you imagine, you have a child and he grows up to be Jeffrey Dahmer? That is just so intense to me, But
also, it's we have kids, and we were just talking about we have multiple children, and it's even me, my sister, brother, it's we all came out very differently, but the same DNA, was present. The same people were present.
Yes.
But some of it is you come out how you come out a little bit,
Yeah, nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
And how much of us is DNA and how much is environmental, and it's why I was selling Slushies outside Fenway Park when I was 16.
You're smart.
My environment, yeah.
You took it, you were clever, and you made something more of it.
Yes.
I call that making lemonade.